I'm Real Genetic Demon, and this is What's on the Tape, Season 5, Volume 7. Today, I've only got a single tape because it's a C60, so this could take a while anyway, so that's a good hour's worth of viewing it, and it's bare minimum, without even me sort of playing the games themselves. But I've got this one here, and this is the one that took my fancy for a couple of reasons. Well, actually, for one particular one. Look, it says there, Kids TV Programme and Music at the End on side B. So I'm hoping we've got something interesting, some real bit of history there that we haven't heard for donkey's years, which will probably be on YouTube somewhere, but anyway, that's usually the way. And we have a little list of games. Now, some of these we've played recently. I think we've played through the Trapdoor and Trapdoor. I'm still not very good at them, to be fair. But we've got Trapdoor, we have Dan Dare, which is an absolute classic on the Spectrum, Scumball, I do know that I've played this on my channel before, Kong Strikes Back, and then we've got Shy Hunter. Now, I'm just going to assume that's actually Spy Hunter, but I could be wrong. It could be about a very shy hunter who doesn't really shoot anything in the woods, maybe? I don't know. And we've got Hunchback 2. Now that's part of that's an ocean game that we have definitely played on this channel before. So it's a TDK. We'll get this out here. It might have seen some action here. Might have done. It looks all right. It looks in fair nick. I mean, we're rewound and whatever else it is, so that's always a good start. So we've got our TDK, and in case there's a complete and utter bust, I have actually got another one here. Now I know this comes with a 6 of the best from Sinclair User. Now I don't have the cover for this one. I'm sure I'll probably do somewhere, but I don't have the cover for it. I think this would have come with actually a case and whatever else it is. But what drew me to this one, apart from Robocop 128K, which is always cool, is Piggy Punks, which I thought was kind of interesting. I don't think I've ever played Piggy Punks before. And then on the other side, we've got Draconus, Trantor, and then Stardust, which are all full games. Trantor's are quite a good game, from what I remember. Dragonus is a game that I quite fancy. It just something about that that kind of makes me want to give it a try. And Stardust, I have no idea what that is. But this is just in case. This is just in case it's a complete bust, because there's quite a lot on that tape there, and you never know. There might be some other stuff on the other side. So without further ado, we will put that one in a tape drive. Right, tape's finally in the drive. I had a few issues there. What's going on? Knocked the camera and put the thing in, so I thought I'd leave it in. It's a bit of funny, really. Anyway, right, go with the old loaded dip. This is for Trapdoor. Well, we've got to feed the man upstairs. What's he called? I know the main character's called Burke, isn't he? And but it's what's the guy called upstairs? The creature. Alan's already got me stumped. I can't remember why. No, that's an odd one, that one. So, yeah, but basically the idea is Burke. Ooh, nice solid signal. That's what we like. Trapdoor. The idea is that Burke is a little servant working for the thing upstairs, which I can't remember his name. Really, did he have a name, or was he just the thing upstairs? Anyway, he goes around collecting things, and usually, invariably, I mean, it's the same story every episode, and I hate to put the spoiler on it here. It's basically something escapes from the trapdoor every week. Burke has to deal with it. It usually ends up as a sandwich for the thing upstairs. Burke puts it in the dumbwaiter, which is a little lift thing that goes up and down. Don't hear that anymore. You don't hear dumbwaiter. It's not one of those things you hear very often. So I puts it in the dumbwaiter and up it goes. But with the help of his little friend, the sort of spider dudey thing. Can't remember what he's called either. And Boney, who happens to be a skeleton's head, who I think he probably was the previous sort of servant for the guy upstairs. I suspect that's what his job was, and he didn't even get to rest when he passed away. So yeah, so there's Boney. There's little wormy things that thing eats there, whatever it's called. This is the version of Trapdoor where Burke's eyes move. See, there's different versions. Some don't move, but in this one, his eyes actually move. If you watch, they look left and right.
I thought that was really cool. I don't think I've ever really seen... The only other time I've ever seen animation in a loading sequence is that of Joe Blade 2, I think. I don't think they did it in 3, where it actually had a full-scale version of Pac-Man to play while he did it. And I don't think I've seen it since. So seeing this version, it is a different version. This is probably the one that came originally packed with it, because I don't think they had the same loading screen on the other versions we tried the other week. Coffee for a second. Oh, we've got one, because this could be a long one. There's at least half an hour on each side. May or may not be full. We'll see. Some kind of, hopefully there's still some music on the other side. I have no idea what's on the other side. I haven't even listened yet. But maybe we're going to get treated to something special. It might be good, this. So, I don't know if I've said this before, but I do love coffee. Oh no! I've jinxed it by drinking coffee. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again, because that was the good version of that one. Let's give him a quick reset. Don't behave yourself now, Burke. Behave yourself. We got quite a way through that, actually, before that had a little crash. I'm going to reset the whole spectrum here. We're just going to go the whole hog. And just make sure there's nothing left over. Nothing residual in memory that upsets it. Come on, Burke. We're going to do it. If not, I'm going to queue it up on the old PlayZX. I'll link in the description below. This is basically an app that allows you to play back Spectrum games from tape files or TZ files, which is kind of handy, really. So, I think this is one of these ones that I may have had to download before. Yes, I have. I've got it actually in my list there of games. I had to download it because it's not one that technically is commercially available anymore. Who owns the rights to it, though? Was it a BBC thing, this? Don't know. It'll be probably Arden, isn't it? Ardman, the people who did Wallace and Gromit. I bet that's just who owns it, because they were Morph and a few other things, weren't they? They were quite a few sort of those bits and pieces at the time, and they still do it, don't they? They still do the stop frame animation with their plasticine figures. Good stuff. Good stuff. Very time consuming though. I'm surprised we haven't actually seen another Wallace and Gromit movie recently. To be fair. It's one of those things that you know, Wallace and Gromit is without sounding sort of I don't know, pretentious. It's a very quintessentially British. That's not a good start. Right, we're going to try again with something else. Let's stop that there, because that's not going to work properly, is it? No way. We're going to have to put the tape in. We're going to have to do the drive. We'll fast forward on from that in a minute. Right. Yeah, but it's quintessentially British, isn't it? It really is. It's sort of, from the Wensleydale cheese to the characters themselves. It's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. Right. Let's put this in here. Let's go down here. I think the version I have here is the alternative. Yeah, I want to say alternative. Re-release of the game. There we go. Yeah, get that loading. Yeah, it's slightly different as well, because even the trapdoor, I don't think the trapdoor on the previous one was trapped space door. I think it was just trapdoor as a wanna, so slightly different. God, I love loading data on the Spectrum. There's something just so sort of, I don't know, the experience and the sounds. It's nostalgia, isn't it? It's all. It just builds up inside, and you want to explode with excitement. I do anyway. I'm kind of sad, I think. No, I'm not, because I know you all love it as well, because I definitely do. I love loading things from tape. I think it's a brilliant experience. It isn't quite the same. It's funny, isn't it? Tape is one of those experiences that you don't get with anything else. There's a little sound that I relate to older computing and my childhood, and that is the sound. But I think it only really occurs. I think it's very much a Commodore Amiga sound. That sound of discs loading within the Commodore Amiga. That sort of of the head moving around. And yeah, you do get it with other things, but most of the things were enclosed. And because I had a Commodore Amiga 500, it was kind of that I always felt that the disk drive was quite exposed and quite open, so it used to make quite a lot of noise. And it was just one of those things. And that clunk, clunk, when you put it in, and that clunk, when it comes out again, those for me are quite nostalgic sounds. I mean, it's not quite the same as opening a CD player and pushing the buttons. It's not quite the same sort of a thing. And tapes are one of those things, and it's the same with. And there's the other thing. It's sort of the same with floppy disks when it came to 8-bit computers as well. I know you can get the 3-inch disc for the 128K, and obviously the Amstrad CPC 6128. You've got that 3-inch disc, and of course it goes into the PCW Amstrad PCW. But and they got a clunk, and they've got a zzz noise, but the tape is just an experience that's totally different. Because also they've got the speed as well, which is obviously an important thing. You don't spend as much time enjoying the loading experience as you do when you're loading it from tape. I think that's what it is, and I don't know what the time distance is that makes it the loading experience, but it's just one of those things. I kind of enjoyed that sort of that. I love that kind of experience of loading the tape. I guess it must have been much more different. It must have been different because Spectrum had this whole idea built into it. This whole lines down the edge came from the ZX81 and the ZX80 because it was actually a flaw. The sound and the video were kind of interlinked, weren't they? So what you ended up with is these flashing lines on the screen because it couldn't do the two at the same time. I think I may be wrong about how that exactly works, but it definitely came from there. So they built it in as a functionality so that the person loading the machine would know that they was loading. This is why you've got the red and cyan lines, and then you've got the yellow and blue ones, which we've got right now that are loading on the screen. That's where that came from. It was then sort of summarily copied by Commodore and even Amstrad as well. They basically sort of stole that. Although if you listen to the tapes, they make some beautiful noises. Those noises weren't necessarily put to the screen or to the user. They were changed into other versions of the lines and whatever else is, and they created their own loaders so that you could do things. So the Commodore quite often played music while it loaded. It had space to do that. The Amstrad sometimes copied the sort of Spectrum noises, often with a ports version of it, but sometimes it just had its own loader, and you wouldn't hear anything. It would just load. There would be no way to really tell whether something was happening or not. There we go. We have Trapdoor. Music's quite nice, actually. Quite beepery, but it's all right. Yeah, it's nice. Right, let's push the key. Right, okay, so we've got the keys. I'm going to try and use the keys today, so we're going to use the ones that are actually there. ZX AQ. Oh, I don't like them. I'm going to have to redefine them. Sorry, I was going to use them, but I'm going to redefine them. I'm going to go with these. So, right, left, down, up, drop, tip, M, and H to hold, I think. Right, okay, so we're going to do keys to this. Now, I've tried this before. We played this before on the game. We've tried to play this before. I'm a learner, Burke. I'm not a super Burke. L to learner. Right, so we have to. This is this little dude here. Can we pick him up? Can I pick you up? There's got switches here. Look, this opens the trapdoor. Shut it again. Burke, get me a can of worms. So that's his first thing. Can we shut that again though? Burke, shut it. Shut it, Burke. We need to shut it because we've opened the trapdoor. So he's like anger at the bottom there. So what we want to do is we want to grab one of these worms up here. So we're that way. Come back, worm. There, we've got a worm. And there's a can. Can we put it in this? Can we put it in there? Oh, right. Okay, let's put down the worm. Put down the worm. Tip the worm. Put down the worm. Right. No. Burke! Put down the worm. What beautiful graphics as well, though. Anyway, there's a can there. There's a can, right. So if I go over here, can I put this? I have to drop that, right. Now, come here, you. No, not him. Get off! That's my worm! You crazy creature. Oh, he scoffed my worm. He's very useful, isn't he? Ah. Right, so hang on. Walk up a bit. Right, go on, Burke. Burke seems to have a mind of his own, actually. I quite often, you know... Oh! That's me knocking the cable out. Can we shut this? What are you doing? Push the button. Up, down, down. There we go. Right, there's a worm. Quick! Where's that crazy dude gone? Oh, he's got my worm again. Oh. There's two. He can't eat them all at once. Get off! No! Burke! Burke, worms! Oh. So we've got to get this worm. We've got to put it in that can there. Where's the... Come on, worm. Ah! Got a worm! How many can... Oh, he's it! He stole it out of my hand! You horrible... Whatever you are! Oh, I can't believe it! I'm going to put you in the can in a minute. Come here. Oh, what is he like? He's just stolen... He's ate my worms. He thought I was feeding him. I'm not feeding you. You can go away. Oh, I managed to eject him into space. I've got one. Get off me. He's chasing me from a worm. Can't have it. It's my worm. You can stay over there and do whatever you want to do, but that's my... No, he's coming. He's chasing me down now. He's chasing me down. There's a worm there, look. There's one on the floor. You have that one. I want this in here. Yes! How many cans? Can of worms. How many worms do I need? 4, I think it is. 4 cans. 4 worms? Let's before the boss gets mad. Horrible. Little... Whatever it is. That's my worm. I've got it. Get off, mate. He's here again. He's here again. He's here. He's chasing me. He's chasing me. Stay there. Yes. Have I got enough worms? Oh, let's see if where's the dumb waiter. He said a can of worms. Is that enough worms? Do you think 4 worms is enough? 3 worms? 2 worms is enough? Sorry. That's what I've got. Look at these spectacular graphics though for the Specky. And they're good. So we've got a can of worms. Let's take these upstairs. Put this in here. Is that enough? I don't know if that's enough. Let's go push this lever here and see if this is enough. I don't think that was enough worms. Oh! I've never been in that room before, I don't think. I don't think it's enough worms. I think it needs more worms. I'm sure it said 4 worms, didn't it? Right, let's bring the can through there, and then that maybe make life a little easier. Bring the can through into the room where the worms are. Right. Let's open this up and get some worms. Ah, I see. And that little flipping monster there. I'll go eat it. Get off! My worm! He's got my worm again. It's quite a hard game, actually. I didn't realise. Do you know something? After playing it for... Oh, he's got him again. Look. Honestly. If I get fired, right, by the monster upstairs, the dude upstairs, you're out of a job as well, you know. I'm no more eating worms for you. I want to kill him. No more eating worms for you. You'll have no friends. Right, Bonnie won't help you. More worms. Alright, put Bonnie back. More worms. Get off my worm! Damn you. Oh, he's gone after that one. At least we might be able to get a... Oh no, I can't, because it's not going to give me any worms while he's not there. I must be my worms left. Come on, there's a worm. Quick. No, get off! Get off my worm! It's my worm! Oh. I hate him. I hate that creature. Whatever it is, I hate him. I hate him with a passion. What is your name? What are you? Your purpose is useless. Look, I'm a busy man. Go away. Go play with something. Oh, he's got that worm straight away. Yeah, get out. Oh, dropped him in the pit! That was a brilliant move. I've dropped him in there. Death to that creature, whatever he's called. I bet this is where he spews back out again when I come and push the button. He's probably at all the worms down there. Oh, do I have to save him now? There's no more worms coming out. I have a bad feeling about this. Oh, we're dead as well. Oh no! You've killed the little critter! And that's it, it's all over, you can't do it! As a learner, I think you are pants. A complete failure, you're fired. Well, that's that other little yellow dude fired as well, because, you know, he's been causing as much grief and aggravation as I have. Right, tape, back in again. I can't even remember what was next on the tape, actually. It was Stand There, I think. Let's have a little look. Let's see if we can get this loading. Ooh, no. Let's try the loader and see if it's a 128k version. You never know. We might get lucky. I'm just going to fast forward that a little bit, see if we pass the birth bit. That's definitely still the old Trapdoor. I used to watch Trapdoor avidly as a kid, though. You know, it was one of those programs that you always watched because it was such good. The quality of it was really, really, really good. And who was the actor who did the voices? I can hear them in my head. You know, the Book. Get me my lunch. I can't remember who the actor was, though, did it? Or the voiceover. Fairly well known British actor. I think. Could be completely wrong with that one. Here we go. No, that's not what we want. I think that's probably the end of end of our last program. There's a little fast forward. I don't think I've gone that far. I'm hoping I haven't gone that far. Let me go back a bit here. Just, it's annoying, this bit. Never having without a counter on it, it's quite annoying. Even then, though, to be honest with you, we didn't know where it was going to be, where it was at. Huh? Could still just be the end of the trapdoor. I'm hoping. Come on. Little gap. Reasonable gap. Reasonable gap would be good. There we go. Yes. I did have to rewind it. just for a little bit for Dan Dare. Now I've put it in 128k mode. I'm hoping it'll work actually. I do quite like this. Last time I played Dan Dare, I quite excited about it. It's one I've got on. I think it's replay or whatever else it is. But I got quite excited about it. It's quite a good little. Quite a good little sort of adventure sort of game, action adventure platformy kind of game. I don't know how to describe it, but I quite enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed the experience because I worked out what I was meant to do for a change. I think it was to do something with bombs and setting them all off. And I got to the second level and I was like absolutely elated with what I managed to do, and something I'd not achieved in the Amstrad version, which I previously played on my channel, which is quite nice because the Amstrad version is like very full coloured, whereas the Spectrum version has a sort of monochrome tone to it, as they quite often did. I quite like it when they didn't do that, but it had that monochrome tone, and the Commodore the 64 version was so totally different. I remember somebody asking me to play that, and I can't remember who it was. And if you're watching this, shout out, you were the one. But I tried the Commodore 64 version. It was so different. It was more like a sort of more like. I'm trying to think of a good example here, like the night series, the nighttime series, the sort of nighttime and Spellbound and all those kind of things, where you had an option menu to choose your interactions with things. It was so different, and you got to admit I guess that's the beauty of the 80s as well. You could have individual teams all working on ports of a game. However, they could all work on not just a port, but an individual version. Here's the brief. We want a Dan Dare pilot of the future. We want the story for it. This is what we want to do with it, and this is what we want. And you could actually end up with 3 different versions because of 3 different teams. They didn't just port them one from the other to the other because the code was very similar, like it is nowadays. I mean, if you take your consoles, your Xbox Ones and your PlayStation 4s and your PCs, they're all effectively the same technology, so all you need is the right tool to migrate one to the other, and then optimize it slightly for the graphic hardware and the devices that have got proprietary hardware, and that's really all that's required. And I'm kind of simplifying it a bit because it's not quite that. Obviously, you have to make adjustments to graphics and other things like that, but realistically, that's all there is to it. It's not a shatteringly different than when you did it with the Spectrum days. I mean, to be fair though, the Oliver twins, who wrote the Dizzy collection, they used to write their games on an Amstrad and then use a specific tool. I can't remember its name, somebody will know it and they'll put it in the comments, but there was a tool that they had was that they allowed them to basically translate the code to the Spectrum, which was really useful for them because the Amstrad allowed them to type a little bit easier than the Spectrum sort of funny press a button, get a full command line, blah blah blah, all those kind of things. That wasn't there for the Amstrad, so they actually wrote a lot of their games with the Amstrad and then converted it over instead of having to fight with it, and they could use floppies and all this kind of stuff. So they had some real advantages. Those chaps, they really did have some advantages. And if you haven't already seen, one of their games, the Dizzy game, has been immortalised by, or is going to be immortalised on 21st of January by the Royal Mail in the form of a stamp. So Dizzy will be a stamp, a £1.60 stamp for forever, and you can buy a set of those around about. I'll put a picture on the screen if I haven't done already of that, so that you can have a little look. But yeah, and in fact I'll put a link below to where you can buy those stamps from if you want them, because it's quite nice really. Do you know what? The thing I've been reading about a lot of people is people have said it's the first time ever they've ever considered buying stamps as a collectible item in relation to retro. Isn't that nice? The Royal Mail has finally hit something that makes us want to buy something from them, something we wouldn't normally do. I think it's quite kind of cool. Oh no, an R-tape error! No! Not an R-tape error. We were rather enjoying that. We're getting close to the loading of it. Let's get the old tape out and get Dan Dare on. We'll do that now. Hang on. Oh, R-tape error, my nemesis from last week's absolutely untouchable street sound neon beauty. We have had failure failure like we've never had before. I'm going to go with the 100. I'm going to go with the 128K, but the normal version. Let us search for this quickly, and we will get Dan Dare fired up. Oh, there you go. It's upsetting the. Done. You can hear it in the background there. It doesn't like the signal from my mobile phone affecting the sound effect, so I do apologise for that when that popped up there in the middle of that. All there we go, Dan Dare, perfect. Right, so where was I? Yeah, stamps. That's what it was. As I say, complete surprise. You know, something that you would have thought that we'd be all sort of rushing out to collect. I'm definitely ordering a set myself. Probably not going with the whole collector's edition. There's like I think it's £20 sort of collector's edition with like a fold out, this, that, and the other. There's a smaller one which is like a tenner or something similar worth of stamps, and they're still usable if you decide to stick them in the post. And you know, it's just I just thought it was kind of cool, to be honest with you. That was a nice feature. Dan Dare though, part of Eagle Comics, comic book is developed by a vicar. He wanted to. I think. Well, I can't remember the exact thing. He basically wanted to show young men how young men should be. So how they should be, you know, sort of heroic and courageous and all the other things with it. So and give them some kind of moral compass. That's an interesting one, really, for if you think about it from a vicar's point of view, because you'd have thought that would have been aimed incredibly at a religious element of it, but it isn't. It isn't. As far as I can work out, there isn't an awful lot of, from what I've read, there doesn't seem to be an awful lot of religion attached to sort of Dan Dare. It's more of a boys' magazine. With boys things in it, and you know, the Eagle comic was kind of that way with them new technologies in it. It's very good, actually, to be fair. It's a nice sort of magazine in that way. But there's the good old Mekon. You see, you can tell that they're more intelligent because they've got huge brains, but they only seem to be like the one that's the really brainy one, which is the Mekon himself, and Dan there with his most beautiful eyebrows. See, they go up, down and around. They have been sculpted for him. You know, before all of the modern day eyebrow trends, Dan Dare was your man. He knew all about them. I suppose that's probably to counteract the round eyeballs of the Mekon himself there, and frog-like face and zero eyebrows. I'm going to assume that underneath that hat of Dan's there's. He's got a lovely set of lock of hair. You know, I'm talking Red Dwarf Ace Rimmer lock of hair underneath that hat. I can tell you now, that's what it's going to be. Coffee time. Just a quick sup while we're waiting for Dan Dare to load. I can see this as being a long one because we've already been. We're 30 plus minutes in, and we're only on the second one. And how many we've got on this tape? 3,400,000. No, we've got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 more to go. 6 in total. And as I say, in this TV program on the other side, which absolutely, it makes you wonder, doesn't it, what you're recording? I remember as a kid, we never had a VHS or a Betamax or anything like that, so we couldn't record from the telly. In fact, it was very, very, very long time before we got one. In fact, you know, I don't know. My parents weren't anti-technology; they just didn't want us sitting in front of the telly, which kind of makes sense. You know, do you remember that program? Was it Why Don't You? Why don't you? Why don't you? Switch off the telly and go outside and do something much more exciting than this, than blah 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 blah. I can't remember the rest of the song, but you know what I mean. But there used to be that, and that I think mine were very much like that. So there was like timed individuals times when they were you know, you kind of I was allowed on the spectrum, you know, because I took the main TV over in the front room and things like that. So VHS and all this kind of stuff. Now the point was that we didn't have one of those for years and years and years. In fact, it was me who bought one when I was probably about 16. So. A good long time into it, and I actually bought a Betamax because it was cheap. You couldn't record an awful lot, if you remember, because the tapes were very good quality, but they were very small. But I had a Betamax. But when I was a kid, I was desperate. Blade Runner was on the telly. So we're a little bit further into the 80s, aren't we then? So it had been put on the television. And I really, really wanted to see Blade Runner, but my parents said no because it was like late, and it was, and I wasn't really old enough technically to be watching Blade Runner. So I convinced them that they should record it on cassettes. Well, of course they ran out of cassettes, didn't they? Because it's like 2.5 hours long or something similar, isn't it? so they ran out of cassettes. So, but I won't listen to most of it and back on cassette. So I'm, as I say, quite interested to see what's on the other side of this. Right, I'm going to press 1 for options. QAOP and space. That's spot on. That's my favourite. That is my favourite. And press fire player. Here we go. Dan and Digby speed over the asteroid, you see, because the Mekon's going to be crushing an asteroid into the planet and finish all the Earthlings off. So there we go. Yes! Get on with Dan. Get on with your bad self, Dan. There's a little timer in the bottom corner. It's like an Earth timer at the bottom there. Oh! One of my favourite things about this is if you get caught or get killed, is that they put you into like a little They put you into prison when you die, which is kind of, I think, is a really nice touch. It's maybe just me, but I definitely think that's a really nice touch. Oh, got put in prison, so fall unconscious for time. And it's time that finishes the game off, to be honest with you. That's the big factor. Right, there's a lift here. Where's it at? Is it right here? Where's the lift? Is it there? There it is. It's funny because the lift's kind of beside it. It's because it's like offset to show it's like 3D. Right. Okay. We've got to find these bombs to blow. Well, we've got to set these bombs to blow up the planet, the meteorite, before it gets to Earth. Don't think it's that one. There's one here somewhere. I'm sure there is. Oh, what was that? What did it say? Out of order. I stood on that button. Is it now out of order still? No, it's still out of order. Right, so I can't get back to the surface. That's no good. Ah, it got me. Zapped me. Right. Let's go for it. I really did enjoy this last time I played it. I remember that. Having a lot of fun with this. Right, up we go. There's the bomb thing, I'm sure it is. Is that it? You take it to, that's it, now take it to the self-destruct system. A little picture of Mekon's going to pop up the wall. Put that down! Oh, I'm going to get you, Mekon. That's a silly lift. It just takes you to that floor above there. It's a bit silly. Okay, so we're going to go up. Well, this will be the prison. Yeah, that's a prison. I'm going to go down because I think it's where that out of order lift was. It's now going to be in order. I do like the graphics though. The graphics are good on this one. Here we go. Come on, Dan. Can we get up here now? It's still out of order. Extra energy. Oh, you got to jump on things to pick them up. Ah, I did not know that. I did not know that. I thought there would be more. There'll be something else about it. But you got to jump up and down on it. Right, let's go up on this lift here. Let's see if we can find the bomb section. It must be up here. That lift's out of order. Uh-oh. Let's go through here. I've run out of bullets. Oh. Oh, right. Okay, that didn't go anywhere. I thought I was going to find the bomb place. I wonder where all the ammunition's gone. I wonder what I've done with all the ammunition. Right. That goes up and down. Oh, this one goes further down. Ah. Let's go this way. I can't believe I've got no bullets left. Ah, I made him shoot his friend. Bullets! I got extra ammunition! Ready to go. Ready to rock and roll. This must be it in here. Nope. It's not it. And up. Up. Spectrum games are brilliant. Our fellow compatriots, damn. Go, go, go. Don't want to run out of time. Plenty of time anyway, at least. I think it's going a little faster than the usual time. Right, okay. This way. This way. Down. Down is the way. Or is it up? Should we go up? Ah. Quick, quick, quick. Can't open that door. Down. That must be the way to the next level. It must be. So it can't be far away from here. There we go. Got him. Run, run, run. Keep on going. There it is. This is the destination room in here. So we go in here. This is the self-destruct room. Inserts the key and a door opens, slides open elsewhere. So off we go. The next room. Do you know, I think I said this last time as well. I could see me playing this for a long time, you know, and actually enjoying it an awful lot. In fact, I'm enjoying it right now. Let's be honest. So we go up here. Go up here. And in here, I think the door is slid open. There we go. Quick. And we're into the new section. Ah, prison, prison. Ah. Unconscious. And away we go again. So we've got to find more bombs and so on and so forth. Yeah, it's really good. I really like Dan Dare. I really do. I mean, I think I've said this before in my previous sort of games when I've played Dan Dare. I do think the comic book, the reimagining by Garth Ennis is one of the best reimaginings of a character for a very long time, with probable exception of his reimagining of The Shadow, which was of course what Batman was based on. In fact, not just Batman was based on, Batman plagiarised. So yeah, there's some really good stuff. I'm going to leave it there, but yeah, that's really good fun. So good platformer, sort of nice sort of, you know, feel to it. I don't think the Earth will be yours, by the way, if you land. It's just said there, the Earth will be his. If you smash a meteorite into the planet, it's going to take a few years for it to repair itself after that, I think, to be fair, Mekon. Anyway, on we go. Let's go. Scumball ahead. Again, another game I've played. This is quite nice, Scumball, though. It's quite graphically, it's quite impressive. It's quite nice to look at and nice to sort of play. It's a platformer where you have to find, I think, 8 bombs to set off something. Very much like what we just played, funnily enough. So oh, look at this tape getting worse and worse. Gone from nice solid sort of signals to less so as we've gone on. Fingers crossed it will work. Kids programs though. Be interesting. Here's the screen. A nice loading screen. Scumball. Now I have a version of this which I picked up from eBay, and it has in the back of it somebody's sort of records of how far they've got by it. And they got like 5 bombs, and I played it and got like 1 bomb. It's quite tough. It's not easy. I think you play this little robot. I think we're going to see him in the picture in a minute. Look at these skeletons and things like that. Yeah, there's some kind of weird creature, I think, in the basement, and you've got to kill the creature in the basement by collecting these bombs. Yeah, I think that's the general gist. What's he doing to that poor skeleton in the back there? Nil by mouth. He's not going to eat very much. He's a skeleton. 12:01. Very exciting. Quick cup of coffee there. I do hope you get yourself a drink while I'm doing these. these things, because they do take quite a while. But I suppose the beauty of the old internet is you can push the old stop button, can't you, and pause it for a bit, and then come back to it and whatever else is. Listen to me, not watch it. Watch it occasionally. Don't listen to me. One of the two. But I suppose that's one of the beauties, isn't it? That you can just stop, pause, and come back, and pause and come back. I do that quite a lot nowadays. I don't know if you do that. I do find myself not necessarily hopping between necessarily YouTube videos. What I usually find myself doing is I'll be watching a movie or TV or Netflix or something similar on my television, and beside me I've got my computer because it's kind of sat beside me. It's going to be one of them days, isn't it? Let's get the we're going to partially load everything, aren't we? Let's get PlayZX out again, and we'll do it there. But I find myself partially sort of then pausing what's on the telly kind of thing, and watching bits of YouTube, and then pausing and doing other things, and you just seem to do a lot of pausing. I'm just searching for it on my phone, by the way. Scumball by Bulldog. Shall we try it in the 128k mode? Shall we risk that? Let's do it. There we go. Yeah, I find myself kind of pausing between the two. So you pause between the telly on that you're watching, and then go back to the YouTube and watch the YouTube things, and backwards, forwards, and then watching some all the way through, skipping some others, going through some others, backwards and forwards between them all. So I do that a little bit. Sometimes I watch them absolutely wholehearted and all the way through. Sometimes I skip parts. It just depends on who I'm watching. Sometimes the droning around on can be a bit annoying, like me really. But I don't, not that annoying. Anyway, but yeah, you kind of skip around. I think we all do that nowadays. Yes, it's not a bad game, this one, actually, Scumball. I remember this. It was a budget game. It was Bulldog. It was produced by, and I have a copy somewhere, probably not handy because it'll be buried at the back of a shelf full of stuff. I'm a bit chaotic when it comes to sorting. I usually only sort like when it gets really bad, and I've got piles of stuff, and I'll go, oh, I've got some duplicates, and I've got a few other things, and oops, I've got this and I've got that. So I am pretty bad for that kind of thing. Terrible for sort of collecting bits and pieces. I like to do the old visiting of charity shops as well and finding bits and pieces there, but you normally don't find. I don't think I've ever found anything Spectrum related in a charity shop ever. It's just never happened. I've never found anything, any other 8-bit computer wise. I haven't even found Master System or NES stuff, but I have found, I think the oldest things I've found that have been out there have been Mega Drive games. In fact, I was in a charity shop the other day, and there was 2 Mega Drive games there. However, they priced them they priced themselves out of selling them. They put stupid values on them, and they were like PGA Golf and NHL, the hockey one. It's NHL, National Hockey League. That's right. And they put the prices on them, and they were, I think they were £15 and £20 respectively, and they were just far too much money for them. They're not even. It's not like they're particularly rare. And also, you have to like those kind of things. You have to like those hockey games. You have to like those golf games. And quite often, those are the games that are sat to one side, not loved at all. You'd only have to look at your local sort of stores and see how many copies of FIFA there are, all at sort of 50p a piece or £1 a piece, and there's hundreds of them. It's in one shop, and they literally have an entire box. What is a box? It's like the corner of their entire store is just devoted to crappy FIFA collections. I mean, they aren't even good. They're just a big pile of them, and without any kind of your PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, just a massive pile of them. And some I don't know why they're taking them. I think why they're taking them is for a simple reason, is that somebody's come and trade some other stuff in, and they've gone, yeah, we'll give you 50p. Well, we'll give you a penny for them, which is what sort of CEX will do for you. And I refuse to call it by the name they keep selling on YouTube, because that's not how you say it. CEX, all right, go away. But they'll give you a penny for it, and they'll go, yeah, all right, I'll take a penny for it. But there's a point where you've got to go, they're better burned than they are kept. In fact, there is a thought that runs through our mind that maybe we should be burning them, or not burning them, so more neutral, recycling them. And I'm not talking to the shops, I'm talking about looking at proper recycling here. Recycling them, because at least then some of them would be rare at some point. But as it stands, they'll never be rare or uncommon. They will always be piled up in poor old charity shops forever. Sad, isn't it? That's really sad. It's sad for the charity shop, because they don't make any money from it, because nobody ever buys it. Nobody does. Has anybody ever gone to a charity shop and bought FIFA? And I'm talking about like a modern day one, from a modern day 360 PlayStation 3 generation. Roundabout to the current gen. I bet nobody has. I bet nobody's gone in there and gone, right, I want a FIFA this week. I did buy some FIFAs once. I'll admit this. I did actually buy some FIFAs once, because I wanted the covers. Because the white covers were terrible. There were some good covers. So I got rid of these. I got these FIFAs for the covers, because they were cheap, and I got them for the covers. And then I promptly, let's do this. Left, right, jump. Oh, made a mistake here. Can I redefine them again? C for controls. 4 for keyboard. Yeah, we can. Left, right, jump, R to report, space. Right. So I bought some for the covers, and then I promptly put them into the bad covers, and returned them to charity. So I'm just as bad as everybody else. But that was the only time I ever bought them. And the point is, I don't even know why I returned them to charity, because the covers were awful at that point. I should have just taken the leap and bin them. That's my future thing. I'm binning them, right? I am binning FIFAs if I get FIFAs. They're going in the bin, and I've put the keys the wrong way around. What an idiot. Did anybody else spot me put the keys the wrong way around? What's it? Art report. Art report is where I'm at. Right, I'm going to try and kill myself now. There's my health going down. P for power at that side of the screen, because I have made a mistake and not put my keys the wrong way around. Let me try it again. But look how lovely this looks. It's a really pretty game, Scumball. Highly recommend Scumball. It's cheap. It's not a very expensive game, but and it's really placed well. And it's one of these games where the guy wasn't afraid to go all specky colours. You know, do those colours that are there. I'm just going to run through rooms while we're at it, and really kind of go the whole hog and sort of, as I say, not be frightened by. Not be frightened by the requirements. There's my laser. It's nice, isn't it? I can't remember what these are for. These are for something. They do something. Can't remember what they do. They S for something. Must be shield or something similar. I think that's a bomb. Yep, there's a grenade. Got one of those. So I have to collect 8 grenades. It says grenades, they're actually bombs, to kill the final boss. There's another one there. I think we've got to go put them on the boss though before we can continue. Oh, you're beaten. Right, let's just change the keys so they're the right way around, so it's a little easier for me to play. Let's do that. C for controls. Keyboard. Left. Right. Jump. R report. Oh. That was rubbish. How did I manage that? Don't want 2 keys doing the same thing. Controls, do that again. 4 keyboard, let's do that again. Left, right, Q, space. There we go. That's better. Right, start the game. This will make more sense. So I've got a little guy recharging. And I think there's a location count, the number of places you've been. Have I still got that the wrong way round? I have still managed to get that the wrong way round. How have I done that? Anyway, so I'll just play on while I can do. Voltage for a power on our creature. Lasers to lasers. I mean, it's really nice. Do you know what it reminds me of, though? The thing that reminds me of, it's sort of like Ultimate Underworld. I like that feel. What have I got here? What have I picked up now? That's going to make me explode. Or I am invincible for a bit. Scumball's one is it's really good. I like it. We've tried to kill something in the horrible place, you know, in this drainage system. But I just like the fact that somebody went to so much trouble with the look of it. It's good. Worth your time and worth your effort if you can find a copy, as I say, and they're not particularly uncommon. In fact, there's still new old stock of this floating around. I have actually seen that. That's floating about. I think it's Rockabilia on eBay. They have new old stock of this without a doubt. Without a doubt, they have new old stock. Great game. Really nice graphics, really nice look to look at, really nice, and it plays really well. It's very smooth. The gameplay is very smooth. It's very fast, which is a good thing. I like fast. I like sort of played sort of games. I can't remember what you do though to get the rest of the stuff. Yeah, Scumball. Right, carry on. Let's just move on to the next one, which probably will also require a load from the other thing, from PlayZX, but we'll give it a try anyway. We're about halfway through the tape. I hope you have had a drink and are properly watered. That's Scumball still on that. That's all that wee bit. Not too much. There we go, Scumball. And this should be Kong Strikes Back. This is an ocean game. This is the next version of basically Donkey Kong that a few people did. A lot of clones of things back in the 80s, and Donkey Kong being a clone. I don't know what this one is though, whether this is the clone of the next Donkey Kong game, which can't remember what that is. Is that Donkey Kong Jr.? Or is this where where Kong gets his revenge? Well, it says Kong Strikes Back, doesn't it? So it's like Empire Strikes Back. And Chewbacca takes the Millennium Falcon out and has a good time in it, probably somewhere. Maybe. I don't know. Oh. Anybody else watch Rise of the Skywalker, by the way? You know, hands up in the comments. I was, without spoiling it, was quite disappointed. It didn't really finish it for me. It added more questions than there were answers, and I think those questions were added intentionally so that we could get spin-off movies, and I find that quite sad in the long run. Don't think that I'm not been a big fan of the new last sequels, if that prequels or whatever they are. They've not been my absolute favourite. They've been more. I don't think I've ever played this one actually. I don't even recognise the screen. I've got a copy somewhere, but I don't recognise the screen. But I don't know. I didn't mind The Force Awakens because it was fan service, wasn't it? They basically just did The New Hope or Return of the Jedi all over again. You know, blow up the Death Star. Oh, hang on a minute, it's not a Death Star, it's an entire planet. And then you had the next one, which was basically a chase movie, which again was almost fan service, because remember, if you really think about it, Empire Strikes Back is a chase movie. It just wasn't the same chase kind of movie, if that makes sense. So there were some odd bits in that one. I didn't mind that one particularly. There was odd story choices, and then we get to this one here, and if you've seen trailers, you can see some of the bits and pieces that are there. Some of the shocks weren't particular shocks. Some of the bits and pieces, I don't know. It wasn't bad. It was almost like they'd skipped the last movie though. They'd had the Empire Strikes Back, and then they did the long crawl at the beginning of it with what they'd done in between and what they were searching for. And it was like, well, we'll just sod the last movie. We're just onto this. We're onto this movie now. Anyway, let's do I for instructions. Do you know what this has a feel of to me? The way to look at this screen right now. This has a very Chucky Egg feel to it. Chucky Egg has this style of things going across the bottom. Let's do R to refine the keys. We go up, down, left, right, throw bomb, H to hold, sound on and off, S. Oh, do you know, I have no idea what this is. There's an I for instructions, isn't there? Guide the man with the helicopter in his head around the track, avoiding the other avoid the other objects by climbing ladders, throwing bombs, and collecting extra bonuses for life. I'm ready, yeah. It really does look like Chucky Egg. Right, so I'm little man here. Throwing bombs. So I've got to get up to her. How do I get up to her though? Why not just go round this long way here and just go straight up this back bit here? Oh, I can't. Oh, so I have to go this way whether I like it or not. Okay, fair enough. There's no jump. Right, so I have to go all the way around here like this, avoiding it. It's strange. I've never played this before. I don't dislike it. I can see the arcade elements here. I often like the single screen things. I'm a bit of a I'm out of bombs now, so I'll have to go up here like that. Now if I can get up here really quick, I can get up this stairs before that one comes. That's fine. I'm gonna stand up here now. Right, just wait here until this one goes past. But you can't jump it, which is a bit of a... I'm gonna go. I'm almost out of lives. There. I've never played this before. I'm not sure. It's like a roller coaster track without the ability to jump. With King Kong coming in the edge, putting in things on the track. There he is. Gonna save my bombs to the end. I don't mind saying I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. It's kind of weird. I've not played this game before, but I don't mind it. There's a bomb. Right. Yeah, it's alright. As I say, not one I've played before. Quite like it. Different kind of experience. Not one I expected. You get a bit of a head start at the beginning though, when you really get to fly along here. I wonder if it was written by the guy who wrote Chucky Egg though. I only think that because of just the way it feels. Come on. I'm gonna stop here and I'm gonna throw a bomb. Oh, I can't throw a bomb. I'm out of lives. Yeah, because of the menu and everything, there's something so Chucky Egg about it. That's really good. I quite like that. It was not the game I expected. I've not played it before. It was really interesting. Wow, yeah, that was a good one. Like that, indeed. Definitely have a copy somewhere. I don't know what I expected for Kong Strikes Back, though. This is the really interesting thing. And it's interesting to see how somebody interpreted another Kong game. So we got the Mario-esque character flying around. I don't think he is Mario, obviously. We'll reset that. We'll start with the next one. It's not the Mario. He isn't Mario, but you've got a Mario-esque guy flying around the place. With all the bits. Yeah. Really nice. I like that one. I could have seen myself playing that quite a lot, that one, because it's. I was never very good at Donkey Kong. I've got much better. I practiced and practiced and practiced. I've got a Switch and I played that. Right, see, it wasn't Shy Hunter. I practiced and practiced and practiced with my Switch and played the NES version of it. And I can actually finish the levels now on the NES version. I can get them all the way through and drop Kong down on the last level. So I can actually do that now. I'm quite impressed with myself being able to do that, but I can only do it like once. I haven't been around twice yet. But that one there is just so I did not expect. So something like Chucky Egg. So yeah, really interesting. Oh, I wonder if that's on anything else. I wonder if that's on the Amstrad as well. Because I quite like to see that, because I think that could be quite good. Because Chucky Egg was a classic on the Spectrum and the Amstrad. I mean, without a doubt, it was just absolutely brilliant. They really were fantastic games. And I would really like to see whether or not that appears on there, because that would be really nice to know. Spy Hunter. This is an arcade game converted over to the Spectrum. Quite a lot of fun, really, where you drive around in a fancy sports car, destroying bad guys by shooting them with machine guns out the front of your car. Can't really be more James Bond than that, can it? So you've got that, and then if you hit there's like these little exits off into the water, you then get a speedboat that you can do the same thing with. And it also can pick up various different weapons that are activated by pressing up on a fire, left on a fire, down on a fire, and right on a fire. And it would activate things like smoke or oil or other things. And really good stuff. It was just a all around what you wanted to do with a sports car. Go very fast and shoot machine guns. Well, that's certainly what I'd like to do with a sports car. but that's quintessentially what Spy Hunter is, the game of doing that. And of course, there he is with his look at his shoulder pads and that there. He's got his gun. There's a more. It doesn't get much more. It doesn't get much more spy than that, does it? I mean, seriously, he's got a car exploding off one direction. You've got a motorboat exploding the other direction. Machine guns firing. A blonde on his shoulder and shoulder pads so wide you could park a small helicopter on each. I mean, they're just beautiful things. I mean, he's got his whole thriller thing going on, hasn't he? I mean, you can imagine it's either all leather or PVC, one of the two, isn't it? With obviously a white cotton shirt and a huge silver belt buckle. I mean, that's what we're wearing. This is high class. You know, he'd step out and he'd blend instantaneously into any crowd, wouldn't he? Absolutely instantaneously. It's been the nature of the beast, by the way. This tape. Now, the only one that's loaded thus far has been that Kong one. Let us find Spy Hunter and let us load Spy Hunter from PlayZX. Let's go for it. Yeah, instantaneously blends in any crowd. He's a serious spy. You can tell he's a serious spy. I mean, but to be fair, it was the 80s, so there's a good chance he would actually been able to blend in with all the permed hairdos and various various tracksuits. He probably fitted in beautifully. Let's see if we can spell Spy Hunter. Oh, we not got Spy Hunter. We have got Spy Hunter. We have the re-release that takes next to no time to load. Let's go with the re-release. This is the Spanish re-release. What are you doing? Stop. Ah! Turned itself off for some reason. Stop. Play. Yeah, try that again. This is the Spanish re-release. So, and it's slightly faster loading, so we'll go with that one. Bit of a cheat. I always feel it's a bit of a cheat with PlayZX actually knowing the length of time that it's going to take to load, rather than the original one. I think we were playing the original before, because the original one has enormous, for a game like it is, an enormous loading time of 5 minutes and 8 seconds, which is quite a long time actually for the original US Gold one. That's the original US Gold version of it. I have got a copy actually. I was sent a copy by my friend Daryl. He sent me a copy of Spy Hunter, which as yet has not left the box. I've got so many games I can't play them all at once. I want to. But it's definitely going to get played. It will get played, and it's a lovely game. So I'll put a picture on the screen actually if I haven't done already of the box. It's just beautiful. So plenty of stuff to do. Anyway, Spy Hunter. Oh, I don't think we're going to get a loading screen here. This is where it turns out to be the wrong Spy Hunter, completely the wrong Spy Hunter, not the one I expect. Do you know something? I can hear scratching out of the corner of my just out the corner of my ear. It's not the corner of my ear. I can hear scratching, and I can tell what it is. It's the dog wanting to go in the garden, and nobody's taking any notice whatsoever of it. Allow me to just go sort the dog out while this loads. Hang on a second. You just stay there. I'll be back in a second. Right, dog. Right. Good dog. Right, dog's back out in the garden. Sorry about that. Oh, I just left it there. Just standing at the door, scratching. There's children in the house. There's other people in the house. They've just left it scratching at the door. It's gone out now. Left the door open. Defeat the object. Solve the problem. Just leave the door open. That solves the problem permanently. It's interesting there's no loading screen. I suppose that saves a bit of time, I guess. A lot of the Spanish re-releases were actually shorter to load. I don't know if they missed. I think they just missed out a whole bunch of things like the loading things, the screens, and all this kind of stuff. I think was one of the main things. Because you've got to remember, a loading screen take 30 seconds to come up, maybe. After you got the original, sort of that whole bit, the one. You know it as a Spectrum user. If you were a Spectrum user, you knew the sounds. You could hear it. You knew what was going to happen. Well, that worked really well. That's it loaded. Yeah, you can see it isn't. That didn't work at all, did it? So the shorter re-release is not a working one. Brilliant. Let's try it again. It's one of those days. I knew. Do you know something? The moment I picked up a longer tape, I knew without getting into it that I knew that it was going to be a long sort of set of loads here. We've got Spy Hunter to go, and we've got Hunchback, and then we have got these TV programs, kids TV programs. I think by the time we've got through that, we're not going to get to that's 6 of the best games. I don't think we are. The ones with the piggy punks and whatever else it is, because I'm just not going to have time to do all those, because another 6 or 7 games. It's another 6 games. I'm not going to get time to do it. So I think we're going to already say that was only a possibility in case we need to do that. I'm wondering whether or not you would like a sort of a monthly sort of Crash Smash type tape play. whether or not that would be something you guys would be interested in, because I think I have most of the months since Crash tapes, cover tapes. I think I have most of them since they started that, and so certainly I've got your Sinclairs and whatever else it is. So it's something that would be interesting. Let me know in the comments below, because what I'll do is I'll do more specific ones, because they sometimes have 6 games on them as well, which are easily, another sort of me chatting away about them. And if you'd like me to do that, then that's a possibility. I could also do them during each break that I have with the what's on the tape, because I like to do 10 of these and then take a couple of weeks break, and then another 10 and take a couple of weeks break. Eating through the tapes now. I have a single layer of tapes left at this point, so I'm getting through them. Got plenty of those. Andre did some ones recently, but I have eaten through a lot of the shorter tapes, so we're really into those huge long, like this one, the C61, and this is only just 6 games on this side of the tape, and you're up to sort of an hour and 20 minutes or so of watching. So we've got a lot going on, lots of things that are there for a tape, long loads. So yeah, just a thought though. If you're interested in seeing some of those tapes, that's fine. I have got plenty of other ones sort of piled up. I've got plenty of other little mini reviews of single games sort of tucked away, ready to go as well. So that they'll be on during the little mini break I have in a couple of weeks' time. So couple of weeks' time, a mini break. Do you know what happens during those mini breaks? This is the funny thing. So I do these little mini breaks, and usually what happens during those mini breaks, I don't normally record at all, apart from possibly the possible exception of the arcade challenge. I usually record it all before that and sort of release it over that time. But what I tend to do during those mini breaks is just kind of catch up on games that I want to catch up on. so I end up with time sort of doing those kind of games and catching up on them. Can I press 1 for keyboard again? No, right. I think it's QA, OP, and space 0 for game. Oh no, it's not. So left, right, up, down, fire. Happy with these? Yes. Number 1. I'm a novice. So here's our little a little car. Oh no! I've done this again. I can't believe I've done this. Space is pause. I've done it again. Oh. Or it's P pause. I've gone and put in the keys again, and what I've done is I've done this before on Spy Hunter, and I never do this right. Every time I do this, I get this wrong. Basically, I put in the keys wrong for Spy Hunter, and then I end up. Is it that one? Oh, come on. Is it spacebar? I'm sure P is pause, and that's what it is. I've done it again. I can't believe I've done this. Basically, I've done the same thing I've done previously. I've basically put in the same key that basically is one of the pause at the same time. Wonderful thing about programming back in those days is, and to be fair, it still applies today, but most people realise that not to do it, is that you could actually technically program in and push the same key to do the same thing at the same time, instead of checking the keys that have already been defined and saying which ones you can't. So I don't know which buttons I have got here on it, but I've definitely managed to get. I'm sure it's P is pause. Yeah, so I'm moving now slightly. So along the road by tapping it on and off. It's ridiculous, really. But you can see you fly along the road. It's a very typical as normal style. You could go along each of the roads, fly along each one, destroy certain cars, get pushed off the edge, blah blah blah. Time comes out, this vehicle here, you get involved in you can go up inside and collect a missile and do whatever else it is, and if you can catch up with it. But as I say, I have managed to, I love the motorcycle blowing up there, stupidly managed to combine the two keys and make an absolute hash of it, which is a real problem, and I don't think you can change the keyboard again until either the time runs out, which we'll have to keep doing this, tapping this button until the time runs out, or I die enough, I think. No, I think it's time runs out actually, which is really annoying. Right, I am going to continue on with the next game, which is Hunchback 2. Oh, Hunchback 2 is so tough. Now, somebody said to me in the comments below, again, I can't remember who it was, said to me in the comments below that, on comments on the previous What's on the Tape, that Hunchback 2 is actually like was the second part of Hunchback. So there was one game, and they decided to split it into two. So you had Hunchback, and then you had Hunchback 2. Both of which have got phenomenally beautiful cartoon art on the front of them. And I still think the game is not as good as the artwork portrays. Now, you could say that about any Spectrum game or any game of the 80s, but some games, you know, if I think back to Nighttime, for instance, I loved Nighttime. I think it was not Nighttime. Sorry, Finders Keepers. Finders Keepers had a little knight running all over the place, all over the things. I felt it was very representative, and it was it was a nice cover to go with the thing. And some games, I felt that the art was fair. I always felt Ocean went over the top. Their artwork was fantastic. Their promotion work was very, very good. And then you got to the game and you were quite disappointed. It wasn't quite the game you were hoping for. Now, Hunchback 2, though, I do remember about Hunchback 2. If it does do it, if I remember rightly, it does have a lovely loading screen that is almost akin to the actual graphics of the cover. And hopefully this will load and show us it. Yes, it does. Quasimodo's Revenge. He is seeking Esmeralda. Now, this is a classic story anyway. It's about a hunchback defending Esmeralda, basically, and has it been a play, or was it a story? I can't remember the whole ins and outs of it. I'm sure a lot of things came from that as well in the 80s. A lot of things came from fairy tale and other things like that. So Hunchback came from that kind of the story of Quasimodo. He used to live in Notre Dame. That's where he was, Notre Dame. Cold coffee. That's got to be done though. It's been a long one. It's not been quite the epic of the what was it, two? Was it 2 and a bit hours? Wasn't it? It's 2.5 hours or something similar. It was like watching Star Wars, but better. That's more action. I have to use myself with that one. Yeah. I wonder what the next one is going to be, though. Because the Mandalorian, again, no spoilers, Mandalorian, which is set after the Return of the Jedi. And it feels and it stinks of Star Wars. I mean, it's like smothered in it. It's like somebody took the greasy goodness of the Millennium Falcon and Chewbacca's fur and rubbed it all over it and generated something that was actually genuinely Star Wars. And the reason nobody's complaining about it who's seen it is that it is Star Wars, and I've watched it, and it's Star Wars, and it's like Star Wars like I remember Star Wars. It's like Star Wars when they did Rogue One. Rogue One was definitely Star Wars. Star Wars war movie. It was a war movie. Don't think of that as anything else other than that. The other ones have got like stories and the following characters, blah 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 blah. Rogue One was just was a war movie. It's like watching let me think here of a good example. It's like watching certain, original war movies, the Big Red One, for instance, or that one with Mel, what's it called, Gibson in that wartime one. There was We Are Soldiers, something like that. That kind of stuff. It was very, 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 very much like that. it was a war film, and I think that anybody felt that it wasn't Star Wars because it wasn't whatever else it is. It was a war film. It was about them infiltrating, doing whatever else is, and going to war. Very good movie. Enjoyed that one a lot because it felt and smelt like Star Wars as well. Again, rubbed in the grease of the Millennium Falcon and covered in Chewbacca's hair. So it was a beautiful sort of example of that, and I think that's the Mandalorian. If you've not seen it, when it's going to be released soon, hopefully in the UK, it stinks of Star Wars, and nobody's complaining about it. Whereas, and I'm not. Oh, I sound like a terrible fan. You know, one of these people who goes on about Star Wars and, you know, just does whatever, says all these things about it. I like the first stories because I think they were good, in the sense of the very first trilogy, you know, 4 to 4, 5 and 6. I didn't like 1, 2, 3. I actually think that do you know what I think the problem with that was, apart from Gungans, which was a terrible idea? So I couldn't care less about the droids, but the Gungans were a problem for me. I just didn't like the Gungans, and I didn't like Jar Jar Binks, but that's fine. But those first ones were very much about politics and what was going on in the Senate and blah 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 blah, making the Empire blah blah blah. There was nothing actually wrong with it. There was just too much computer graphics, and that's because it was at a time when people were like, "Way, 1999, computer graphics, you know, they are the future." And actually, they computer graphics combined with physical effects make a big difference, and you can tell that by the latest set of Star Wars things. They're very much a set of sort of a movie where there's a combination of. Right, so we got to collect the bells, and we got to jump onto that. This is really tough, by the way. I just think Quasimodo looks a bit big. Is it a right word? Bit big. Oh, sugar. Doesn't stand a chance against that. Really tough. You can tell this would be the later levels though of Hunchback, because it's just so hard. This particular level gets really tough indeed, and you just go, oh damn it. There's a timing here with that thing in the middle as well. No, timing all off there. Oh, wow. Here we go. Yeah, you kind of have to hit the timing absolutely spot on, or you've had it with this. There you go, got it, first one. I have done that level before, you can tell. Took a bit of practice. I can't do this one. Because you've got to jump onto that boat, and then there's this sort of stepping off the edge thing that really annoying. And you can't step off the edge because that would be stupid. Yeah, it's a tough one, this one. Now, I just think that Disney was a bit lost with what they wanted to do with it, and I know that George Lucas had written a set of a script which they then just chucked in the bin. I'm not suggesting it needed to smell and stink of Star Wars. It needed to smell and stink of Star Wars, but in the right way. They could have, if they were going to. To be fair, they could have ended the saga with Return of the Jedi, and they could have started a new saga with a new set of people, and they could have brought in the other characters a little bit to spice it up initially, but they could have just ditched it all and gone off a completely different direction. Are you with me? They didn't have to do the way that they went. So I don't know. I'm just me. Let's see if there's anything else at the end of this. I'm just tempted to see if we've got any more data or whether we're straight into music. Let's have a little look. We have about a teeny fifth of the tape left, I would say. It's pretty quiet thus far. I'm going to press the fast forward here and we'll see what we've got. Oh! We have some music! tape drive in ready.
Fiery beam shot skyward from the eye of Thundera.
Thundera.
Back at camp, Panthro heard Lion-O's roar and paused from unloading their wrecked ship. He saw the sign of the Thundercats blazoned across the sky.
Wildcat, Kit, Lion-O's in trouble. Come on.
With glowing yellow cat's eyes and blazing red insignia, the three rushed into the jungle.
They rushed into the
reached
jungle.
the scene just in the nick of time.
Lion-O, hold on, we're here.
I'm doing fine, Panthro.
With
I'm
his
doing
mighty
squat
sword,
thrusts,
Lion-O beat
Panthro.
off his attacker's blows.
Oh, he's awesome.
With three more Thundercats joining the fight, the
Thundercats.
mutants knew it was time to flee.
Thundercats.
Back! Get back!
Do you remember these?
Clive hissed to his partner.
I don't remember these at all. I'm going to fast forward this a little bit here. I tell you what I might do, just for you guys. I might convert it.
Before him.
So, the dreaded mutant.
It's Mumra.
Lords of the universe.
It's the Mumra.
With their tails between their legs.
If you think it's so easy fighting the Thundercats, try it yourself next time.
Thundercats.
His three listeners with fear.
Ancient spirits of evil, transform this decayed form to
Mumra. Oh, we love a bit of Mumra. I'm just going to turn it over, see if there's anything else on the other side. Because what I might try and do is I might try and convert it for you. Because I've got a little tool to do this. I've got a little...
Bully.
There's more on the other side. What I'm going to do then is, just for you guys, because I'm such a nice guy, is I am going to rewind that back to where the last data was. Let me just do that quickly while we're doing it. Let's rewind that a bit.
Who wants more? But firmly.
Looking for a good place to build our new home.
A good place to build our new home, says Panthera.
Frown, Panthro.
Panthro, sorry.
Slide hit
I'm just going to rewind it back to the beginning because I want to hear the tune.
in the nick of time.
I wonder if it's got the Thundercats. Thundercats. Oh!
He roared.
Is that the end of the tape? I think it's the end of the tape. Let's see if it does it now. I'm waiting for it. What I'll do, is I'll record this, I'll MP3 it, and I'll put a link in the description below, so you may be able to listen to this. I hope I don't get into trouble, because I guess it's technically copyright, but I don't think anybody's ever seen a Thundercats kids thing.
And finally shook off his attackers.
Thundercats!
Oh!
He roared.
There's only a little bit there, though. Right, I'm gonna convert this for you guys. So you guys can listen to this. I don't know what's up, whether there's some on the other side as well, so it might take a little while to do that, but I will do that. And you can hear some Thundercats and whatever else is there. I'm hoping there's some more stuff, because when I flipped that over there and I played a bit of it, there was definitely more audiobook there. So this could be quite interesting. So I'm going to record that from there onwards for you guys, and I will put a link in the description below. It'll be to my Google Drive, and if I get into trouble, I'll turn it off. All right. So we'll give that a try from there. So where are we? What are we going to do? Right, we're done. I think we are technically done. Do we want to do something last? No, I think we're going to leave it there because I could be here all night, and I do need to record that for you. So, thank you for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe. And we've got a bit of Thundercats. Hear them Thundercats roar. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Have fun. See you later. Bye.